And, no perfect person has ever existed. You and I and everyone listening will not be the first ones. So if we can accept that fact, we can strive for excellence. I like high standards. I think that's important. But high standards don't mean that you never make a mistake. They mean actually you make mistakes more often than not, and then you're able to improve upon those things. Okay, I didn't communicate that very well. Let me think about that. Okay. My partner told me that I said that in the wrong way. Okay, how can I reframe it next time to come across, to still say my wants and my needs, because that's very important, but say it in a way that's receptive and not condescending or hypocritical or, all of those sort of back and forth. So if we can start young kids with that, because a lot of this stuff is very heavy, but if I can just ask a seventh grader, like, hey, what'd you make a mistake on today? Oh, that's cool. Nice. Good job. Way to have effort. Way to try. Way to show up. Like all of that good stuff. And then the masculinity part for young boys is really challenging these days, because there's a modern healthy version of masculinity that encompasses all of these traits. That encompasses the ability to be tough, but knowing how to have it under voluntary control, like using violence and fighting as an absolute 100% last resort. If I can talk my way out of it, if I can just be kind, if I can just get out of the situation, move away. But if I'm in a dark alley and there's my family and someone comes to try to, take them, I have to stand up for that. That's okay. So we need that capacity, but that's a last resort. If I can avoid it at all costs, great. Understanding what my emotions are, that I have emotions. Not that I have to, again, be vulnerable to everyone all the time. Nobody wants that. But I'm vulnerable to myself. Okay, I had a hard day. That was a hard day. I can tell that to myself. I don't have like, no, perfect day was perfect. Everything was great, all good. No. Because then when you talk about it to yourself, you can talk about it with others. And then being able to dial in on our purpose and meaning and understanding that women are these divine creatures that we should treat with the utmost respect. And if we elevate women, that means that as men, we have to elevate ourselves to reach these high standards that they're putting themselves on, which they absolutely should, because they are, these magical beings that can have humans come out of them. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, I wouldn't imagine being able to do that. And so, like, I think there's a lot of adversary between men and women right now, just sort of in the modern dating market. I don't know if you look at that a lot, but as men, we have to take responsibility. We have to take responsibility and ownership over our lives and say that I can come to terms with who I am and my emotions, and that I can ask for help, but I'm also capable and confident and competent, and I can do shit, and all of that stuff sort of combined together to create a healthy version of masculinity, not one that suppresses or one that wants to be tyrannical or powerful in a bad way. So a lot of those things are really, really important, but you have to go out in your life and you have to experience things and read about people and have role models to show you those things.
Aaron, I really love what you said, and I'm really glad that you brought up, the fighting thing, or like the ability to protect, because that's in our DNA. For thousands of years, us men have been, hey, if there's a conflict going on, we have to go out and protect, or we have to go to war, or whatever it may be. And in the recent years, there's been somewhat of a shift to really pushing that aspect of masculinity down, and that can actually be a negative part. In my life, I saw violence as, or I saw it being used in some not positive ways, and violence in general. Again, like you said, avoid it at every single possible cost. But it can be a very, very healthy way for us to, like, as men, we have testosterone. We all, even women, we're going to get angry sometimes. There's ways to healthily express these things. And, like you do jujitsu. I think having outlets like that are very, very important. Even just ways to, all right, if punch a pillow for 10 minutes, whatever it may be, but letting out some of that aggressiveness. And I know men in my life that have never, not once, expressed any anger in any sort of way like that. And I honestly think that if you aren't able to like try to find a way to healthily express that, then you're holding something back within us, because there's something that aggressive, that testosterone, that like that feeling of power. It's an interesting balance, because yes, there's the tyranny, there's the unhealthy version, but feeling powerful is an important feeling. If you can embrace that, and I'm a big believer in positive body language. Not, okay, I'm looking at you and I'm reading your body language, but body language within ourselves. So if I'm sitting here and I cross my arms, I'm telling my body, and there being signals going through my brain that I'm scared, or I need to be protected, or I need to stay small. And there's a TED Talks about this, but if I am opening up and making myself big and really trying to embody this powerful being, all powerful, it's bringing me more of my authentic self, which that's what we're all truly looking for. We're trying to find, because Aaron, there is a creative, beautiful being within you that we're all seeing some of it right now. But infinitely beautiful and unique to you and you only. And we all have that. It's just, we've all piled on all these definitions and all these things that society, hey, I'm supposed to be this, or I'm supposed to be that, or whatever it may be. When if we can just start taking off layer by layer and really starting to uncover, we find out that the thing that's underneath it all is the most beautiful and powerful thing that we have. But it's this interesting concept in society today, because we have kind of pushed down masculinity. I think it's good, because it's been patriarchal for a long time, and that's the way the world's been run for a very long time. So swinging on the other end of the spectrum for a little bit of time is what we've needed, but we need to find that balance. We need to find where it's an even keel, that we can express our powerful testosterone. Hey, I'm a man. Like there's an interesting balance that we can express that, but still be incredibly soft, incredibly vulnerable, incredibly real, not trying to put on a front that, hey, I'm some big bad man that isn't scared of anything. I can tell you that I'm afraid of things and still be 100% a man. And courage, isn't about not being afraid of things. It's about witnessing the fear and still being willing to step into that. Writing about some of the things in my book, it's like, oh man, I don't know how people are gonna take this, but hey, I'm believing in this concept that I can tell it all and it's gonna be okay. And I'm living proof that it is.
Yeah. If anyone tells you that they never get scared, they're either stupid or dead.
True that.
Because I think when we start to face our fears, we don't get less scared. The fear will always be there. We just get more brave. And there's a huge, huge difference between those two. The fear